Questioner. Are these particular entities all uniquely the same, or are they just random entities? Ra. I am Ra. The latter is correct. Questioner. Am I to understand that the harvest will occur in the year 2011, or will it be spread? Ra. I am Ra. This is an approximation. We have stated we have difficulty with your time-space. This is an appropriate probable possible time-space nexus for harvest. Those who are not an incarnation at this time will be included in the harvest. Questioner. If an entity wants to learn ways, wants to be of service to others rather than service to self, while he is in this third density, are there best ways of being of service to others, or is any way just as good as any other way? Ra. I am Ra. The best way to be of service to others has been explicitly covered in previous material. We will iterate briefly. The best way of service to others is the constant attempt to seek to share the love of the Creator as it is known to the inner self. This involves self-knowledge and the ability to open the self to the other self without hesitation. This involves, shall we say, radiating that which is the essence, or the heart of the mind-body-spirit complex. Speaking to the intention of your question, the best way for each seeker, in third density, to be of service to others is unique to that mind-body-spirit complex. This means that the mind-body-spirit complex must then seek within itself the intelligence of its own discernment as to the way it may best serve other selves. This will be different for each. There is no best. There is no generalization. Nothing is known. Questioner. Thank you very much. I don't wish to take up extra time asking questions over again. Some areas I consider important enough in relation to the law of one to ask questions in a different way in order to get another perspective in the answer. In the book OSPT states that if an entity goes over 50% service to others and is less than 50% service to self, then that entity is harvestable. Is this a correct statement? Ra. I am Ra. This is correct if the harvesting is to be for the positive fourth dimensional level. Questioner. What must be the entity's percentage, shall we say, if he is to be harvested for the negative? Ra. I am Ra. The entity who wishes to pursue the path of service to self must attain a grade of 5, that is 5% service to others, 95% service to self. It must approach totality. The negative path is quite difficult to attain harvestability upon and requires great dedication. Questioner. Why is the negative path so much more difficult to attain harvestability upon than the positive? Ra. I am Ra. This is due to a distortion of the law of one which indicates that the gateway to intelligent infinity be a gateway at the end of a straight and narrow path, as you may call it. To attain 51% dedication to the welfare of other selves is as difficult as attaining a grade of 5% dedication to other selves. The, shall we say, sinkhole of indifference is between those two. Questioner. Well, then if an entity is harvested into the fourth density, with a grade of 51% for others, and 49% for self, what level of the fourth density would he go into? I surmise that there are different levels of the fourth density. Ra. I am Ra. This is correct. Each enters that subdensity which vibrates in accordance with the entity's understanding. Questioner. How many levels do we have here in the third density, at this time? Ra. I am Ra. The third density has an infinite number of levels. Questioner. I've heard that there are 7 astral and 7 devachanic primary levels. Is this correct? Ra. I am Ra. You speak of some of the more large distinctions in levels in your inner planes. That is correct. Questioner. Who inhabits the astral and devachanic planes? Ra. I am Ra. Entities inhabit the various planes due to their vibration nature. The astral plane varies from thought forms in the lower extremities to enlightened beings who become dedicated to teach learning in the higher astral planes. In the devachanic planes, as you call them, are those whose vibrations are even more close to the primal distortions of love light. Beyond these planes there are others. Questioner. Are there 7 subplanes to what we call our physical plane here? Ra. I am Ra. You are correct. This is difficult to understand. There are an infinite number of planes. In your particular space-time continuum distortion, there are 7 subplanes of mind-body-spirit complexes. You will discover the vibrational nature of these 7 planes as you pass through your experiential distortions, meeting other selves of the various levels which correspond to the energy and flux centers of the physical vehicle. The invisible, or inner, third density planes are inhabited by those who are not of body complex natures such as yours. That is, they do not collect about their spirit-mind complex as a chemical body. Nevertheless, these entities are divided in what you may call an artificial dream, within a dream into various levels. In the upper levels, desire to communicate knowledge back down to the outer planes of existence becomes less, due to the intensive learn teaching which occurs upon these levels. Questioner: is it necessary to penetrate one level at a time as we move through these planes? Ra: I am Ra. It has been our experience that some penetrate several planes at one time. Others penetrate them slowly. Some in eagerness attempt to penetrate the higher planes before penetrating the energies of the so-called lower or more fundamental planes. This causes energy imbalance. You will find ill health, as you call this distortion, to frequently be the result of a subtle mismatch of energies, in which some of the higher energy levels are being activated by the conscious attempts of the entity, while the entity has not penetrated the lower energy centers or subdensities of this density. Questioner: is there a best way to meditate? Ra: I am Ra. No. Questioner: at this time, near the end of the cycle, how are reincarnations into the physical allocated, shall we say, on this planet? Ra: I am Ra. Entities wishing to obtain critically needed experience in order to become harvestable are incarnated with priority over those who will, without too much probable possible doubt, need to re-experience this density. Questioner: how long has this been going on, this type of allocation? Ra: I am Ra. This has been going on since the first individual entity became conscious of its need to learn the lessons of this density. This was the beginning of what you may call a seniority by vibration. Questioner: can you explain what you mean by a seniority by vibration? Ra: I am Ra. This will be the final question of this session of working. The seniority by vibration is the preferential treatment, shall we say, which follows the ways of the law of one, which encourages harvestable individuals, each individual becoming aware of the time of harvest, and the need on a self-level to bend mind, body, and spirit towards the learned teaching of these lessons, is given priority in order that this entity may have the best possible chance, shall we say, of succeeding in this attempt. May we ask at this time if there are any questions? Questioner: my only question is, what can we do to make the instrument more comfortable? Ra: I am Ra. This instrument is not wearing the appropriate apparel for this work. As inpourings occur in the regions of the, what you may call, 7th chakra, as you speak of these energy centers, filtering through the 6th and so forth, the entity's other or base chakras become somewhat de-energized. Thus, this entity should be more careful in its selection of warm apparel for the part of the body complex you call the feet. May we answer any other brief questions? Questioner: then we want to put heavier clothing on the feet. Is this correct? Ra: I am Ra. This is correct. I will leave this instrument now. I leave you in the love and the light of the one infinite Creator. Adonai.